Hello, good evening, and welcome to a new episode of Arguably the Reading Quest. I am Nishant. So, as promised, this is the second episode of the books that I have bought, and this time, all the new books from India in these 3 4 months since the last time we published a video on the same topic. So, to start with, this is the book that I have waited for long time, although many publications of it were available, but I wanted something that is really scholarly with lot of annotations and footnotes and critical commentaries. So this is none other than one of the towering books in the political philosophy in the past 20th century, and that is The Origins of Totalitarianism by Hannah Arendt. So The Origins of Totalitarianism, this is published at, I have got it from Library of America. It's the very first time that Library of America has published a book on Hannah Arendt's philosophy. It is surprising that why it couldn't do so before. And it was released on, I searched it in the last year itself, and the release date was showing on 22nd June 2025. 22nd June 2025. And immediately it got released and I got it. So this is one. And this is of 8,000 pages. Although by the thickness of the book, you cannot infer it's 8,000 pages because the page is very super fine quality. This is I'm presently reading as well. So I'm reading this. Apart from that, uh, it was my long desire to read C.S. Lewis, such a genius of, English language and, the carrier of the English, deep-rooted English heritage. C.S. Lewis. So it's a preface to Paradise Lost. So this is one book that I bought. On and off, I have been reading a lot of Aldous Huxley. Aldous Huxley was one of the greatest geniuses of 20th century. So this is The Divine Within. It's a collection of essays by Aldous Huxley on the spiritual and the divine. I bought a non-fiction of Simone de Beauvoir, but of a very different kind. This is Coming of Age by Simone de Beauvoir, published at Norton Critical Edition. And this book is about, let me tell you, as is given on the back cover, what do the word elderly, old, and aged really mean? How are they used by society, and how in turn do they define the generation that we are taught to respect and love, but instead castigate and avoid? So, Coming of Age seeks greater understanding of our treatment of elders by answering these questions. And this is a monumental study focusing on the old, but equally revealing, of all of us. So this is one. And this is a cross-cultural study by Simone de Beauvoir. Another important book is The Formation of Christendom at Princeton Classic by Judith Herrin. Formation of Christendom by Princeton University Press. So in this acclaimed history of early Christendom, Judith Herrin shows us how from the sack of Rome in 1410 AD to the coronation of Charlemagne in 800, the Christian West grew out of an ancient Mediterranean world divided between the Roman West and the Byzantine East and the Muslim South. This is what interested me the most. How the Christian West grew out of, I again repeat, of an ancient Mediterranean world divided between the Roman West, the Byzantine East, and the Muslim South. So this is an interesting, history of Christianity, the development of the history of Christianity. One important book is Illuminations by Walter Benjamin. Walter Benjamin was undoubtedly, one of the most original minds of the first half of 20th century. So this is, and the introduction is by Hannah Arendt. And to my surprise, Walter Benjamin has also written, some of his analysis and observation on Kafka's writing. So this book was, a necessary one for me to be. The Constitution of India. The Constitution of India, this is a commemorative edition. It's a leather bound, you see, and it is to mark the 75th anniversary of the adoption of the Constitution of India by the Constituent Assembly. And this is in collaboration with the O.P. Jindal Global University. This is published by the Constitution Museum, and in collaboration with the OP Jindal Global University. You can see this is a beautiful, beautiful leather bound, the Constitution of India. Lectures on the History of Political Philosophy by John Rawls. This published at Harvard University Press, and this was my long due project to read something by John Rawls, his analysis on how he looks at Hobbes, Locke, Rousseau, Hume, Mill, and most importantly Karl Marx. So Rawls' lecture on these figures reflect his own development and changing views. And Rawls was one of the towering figures in the political philosophy and the idea of justice, whose idea of justice was further developed by Amartya Sen in his idea of justice. From the theory of justice to Amartya Sen's idea of justice. So this book was a must-have issue. I bought a book that I assume all of you must have read in your childhood days, but this is the 150th anniversary edition, and it is illustrated by none other than Salvador Dali. And this is Alice's Adventure in Wonderland, Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And this is 150th edition of Alice Adventure in Wonderland, and published at Princeton University. And the book is amazing. It is full of illustrations, and it is full of such beautiful, you can see, paintings. And the introduction part is again written by some mathematicians. So you can see this is one book that I'm very much looking forward to read. I had many editions of Pablo Neruda's poetry, but this I found quite irresistible, so I bought it. So the poetry of Pablo Neruda, published at FSG Classics. I had his 50 years of collected poems at Grove Press, but this time I got this one as well, the poetry of Pablo Neruda. And last, again, this year I'm planning to read, after reading Karl Popper, I'm planning to read another philosopher of science and an iconic one, Thomas Kuhn, The Structure of Scientific Revolution. This is published at Princeton University, and this is again the 50th anniversary edition. I'm so fond of anniversary editions. So you see, it's not like that because, I ordered it and that time coincidentally this edition was in market. So I thought, why not, to have my hands on this edition rather than any other edition. So these are some of the books that I'm engaging myself with these days, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Please do let me know what kind of video you want me to make next. Please like, share and subscribe my YouTube channel, Arguably The Reading Quest. You can also find me at Instagram. Happy reading, guys. Thank you all of you.